Right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. We are thrilled and excited. Come on in. It is motivation time. It is morning time. It is Tuesday, the day of beginnings, even though Monday seems to be. It's the day we call it. Hello, good morning to you. I'm going to try to do I don't know what I'm going to try to do. I think I'm going to try to do Periscope as well. So give me a minute to see if I can make this happen. Oh. All right. We are going live this morning on Periscope. We're trying at least to see if we can do both at the same time. So good morning to all of my folks everywhere. We are so excited. Yeah. Oh, you don't want to be here this morning then. I see. That's okay. Goodbye. Hello to those who want to be here. We are so excited. Good morning to all of you. We are thrilled. Oh, Apostle, good to see you. Your trip to Africa seemed to have been fine. We're trying to, let's see if we can do this. The Audacity of Faith. This is my first time using Periscope. Not Periscope, but using... Let's see here. We can do this. I'm sorry to ignore y'all just for a moment. Let me see if I can get this right on this, both of these pieces here. Audacity, the audacity of faith, the audacity of those who believe God, who go further and deeper and wider than most. How is it possible for us to believe when we can't see? I want to know if there's anybody who have to see it before they believe it this morning. Is there anybody who believe that they can begin a thing without having to see a thing? So it's saying it's not strong enough on that side to go powerful, but that's all right. I do have my Periscope people, so we're excited. We believe. All right. Some people say not yet. All right. Then we can help you. Shalom. Good to have you. Shekinah glory. Good to have you, man of God. Blessings to you. Sonship 56 Ward. Apostle, you better come on. I love that. I believe because I know. All right. I got the morning from Oak Park, Illinois. Good to have you. Good morning. Anointed Soldier 24. Fine. Wonderful. It's saying that I have a weak connection on live, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to keep going. Well, listen. Good morning to all of you. God bless you from Allentown. Great to see you this morning as well. Oh my goodness. We're excited to be back on Periscope. It's been a minute. Move it in and God will see. All right. I love that. Good morning to you. I love it. Good morning from Suriname. Good to have you on this morning here from Washington, D.C. I'm Dr. Yolanda Powell, and this is the Seven Mountain Periscope. Palm Bay, Florida. Welcome to you. Good. Is that California on board? I think it was San Francisco. Wonderful to have you as well. We are thrilled and exciting. Morning to you, Miss Shalita. I miss you. I need you to talk to me. I need to hear your voice. All right. Give me a call. I need to hear you, what you're doing. Let's see if this is going well over here. I don't know if it's live or not on Facebook. We don't know. It says finish something. Okay. So that cancel. All right. So that's not working. Hello from Boston. Good. You look amazing. Thank you, madame. I appreciate you. We missed you too. It was just a lot going on. And y'all know by now that what I do is I have to have solitude. Stockton, good morning to you. Belgium, good morning to you. Or afternoon or evening. I've got to get my time zones back in my head for you guys. Lady Evans, thank you sharing for you are just such a wonderful woman of God. I know your husband is blessed and just moved by your peace and your presence. So I bless you, woman of God. We were taking our break. We were listening to the heavens. My God, as I have come to know him over 35 years, is a God that likes special attention. Come on here. God likes sharing, y'all, with people. He likes the preachers. He don't mind sharing it. But every now and then, let me tell you about our God. Our God will say, come here. Come here. And David called it the pavilion of God. Come on, where are you? I'm in Washington, D.C., and here in the nation's capital of the United States of America. So that's where I'm hailing from this morning. And what I want you all to know is that God sometimes will call us away. He calls us to come in to a place and to get some things done with him. Can God have a private audience with you, or do you always have to have everybody on every device watching? Come on here. So I like to meet with God in the pavilion, where David said it was there that I understood what God wanted. It was there that I began to understand what God was after. So every now and again, there is time that God says, come to the pavilion, Yolanda. And when he does that, I don't care about nobody. I have to move. I have to quiet myself, because Papa is calling. And when Papa is calling, ain't no sense in trying to do 50 other things. You come on. You have to learn to focus in. You have to learn to do the things that God have called you to do. So anyway, today we are just thrilled. We've been all over out of the country. We've been all over doing some pieces, but specifically we were in Los Cabos, or Cabos San Lucas, and just had a wonderful time in the sun, just watching that part of the world, seeing Mexico and all of that. So it was wonderful to be there and to have that deeper conversation with God, to have that deeper conversation with Papa, where you could really hear. Can you hear God? Can you hear when he's speaking to you? Certainly, sometimes you just got to get away. There's got to be a getaway with God. Just not a getaway from things, but a getaway to things, a getaway to a person, a getaway to a place in which you can hear and download the pieces that God wants. So I want to bless all of you this morning and welcome you to the Seven Mountain Periscope. I am glad to have you here. Thank you so much for those hearts that are going. But let's see if we can't get right into what we have to do, because there is a deeper conversation that produces a deeper life, that produces deeper manifestations, that produce deeper results in which God shows himself through his children. If God is going to do anything in the earth, he's been telling me in my ear and in my heart and through his word that he does it through his prophets, through his apostles, through his babies, through his children. If you have no title but you belong to God, he's still working through you. So this is not just the titled, this is the believer and those that respond to God by faith. And so we have to be those kind of people. We have to be people who understand what God is saying and who know what God is doing. And I want to ask this morning, do you understand what God is doing in your life? Are you confused? Are you bamboozled? Are you in a place of crying and weeping and wailing? Or have you said, no matter what comes, no matter what happens, God is with me. God is for me. God is downloading through me his will and his way. Yeah, I'm telling you all that no matter how grown up you get, no matter how wonderful it seems that you got the best platforms and you got the best leather Bible and you've got the best this on and that on, I'm asking you, do you know what God is doing even when you can't determine it with your very eyes? The Bible says that we walk by faith and not by sight. Come on. Yeah. We walk by faith and not by sight. So we have to begin to understand this. What is God doing in my life? How is he processing the things that he's after? Because this is what I understand. Our God is not a God of disorder. He is not a God of broken communications. He is not a God that starts something and don't finish it. But this responsibility on us is to incline our ear. Are we inclining our ear to hear what thus saith the Lord? Are we clear that God is, yes, yet speaking and always downloading his heart, his mind, and his will to his beloved? See, that's right here. Tampa is here. Good to have you. I want you to know Facebook. I want you to know Periscope, that here, what God is doing on the Seven Mountain Periscope, and you've joined me. Thank you so much for coming on, is that we have to understand that God shifts times and seasons with divine purpose. Do you hear me? God shifts times and seasons for divine purpose. So right now, we're getting ready to come into the fall season. We're getting ready to move into a shift of time and season because it's going to produce a different thing, a different outcome than sun did, than all of the beauty of the greenery did. Somehow, when God shifts the season, he's shifting the process because he wants something from that time. I want you to know that God shifts seasons in your life like he shifts seasons on the planet. And it's up to us to ask the question, God, what season am I in? What time is this about? What am I supposed to be doing here and now that processes this thing in a absolute positively focused field move for you? That we cannot just be grappling around trying to find our way when God's yet speaking. So this is what I heard. This is what I heard. I heard God say there is the need for audacity in this season. Oh, Lord. It is the audacity of faith. It is the ability to believe God beyond what we can feel, see, sense, hear, understand, taste, touch, smell. It don't matter if it does not align up with our senses. God is saying have audacity. Have the bold, fearless ability to believe beyond what your eyes are calculating and calibrating and uploading. Can you do that? Come on. Can you see beyond what is happening in ministry right now? I know the people are few. I know sometimes in business the dollars are few. I know sometimes the children are not responding. I know sometimes marriage is not always that wonderful. But we have to ask the question, can we have audacious faith? What does that mean, Yolanda? What does it mean to have audacious faith? To have this faith that says, I believe even when nothing is telling me, no code is happening, no results are formulating, but I believe God. I believe that what God said is so, and besides that, there is nothing else that exists. Can you have that? See, there was a man, a centurion man, who did not have a collar. Come on, he did not have a cross. He did not have any kind of a religious education, but he heard about a man named Jesus, come on, who could do anything. And once that thing begins to load up in the matrix of our mind, that there is a God that can do something, that there is movement in the earth among a God who can bring forth miracles, signs and wonders, then we have to align ourselves not just with what's familiar. Oh Lord, it can't just be familiar, because faith doesn't come out of the familiar. Faith does not come out of things that are familiar. Faith is bred in places where there is nothing that is grappling with what I know. But I heard God. I heard God in my belly. And so this audacious faith, this audacity, and this is what it means. The willingness to take bold risks. The willingness to step out of comfort zones and to tear the roof off the sucker. Come on, tear it up, move it back, tear the roof off, tear the door hinge off, because we're coming in. That's what season we are in the body of Christ. Come on, let's discern the seasons. Let's discern the times. What time is it on the planetary scope of God? What time is it? He is saying you've been sleepy, you've been tired, you've been kind of moving along in your business, moving along in your ministry, moving along in your calling, scared of too many things, concerned about too many approvals, trying to get affirmations from too many places. But in this season, God is saying that he is looking for an audacious people with an audacious faith to believe him beyond the natural circumstances of politics, beyond the natural circumstances of medicine and science, beyond the circumstances of what we have known. There are things even in our family systems right now that we've always thought we know. Oh, I know that. Yeah, I know that. No, you don't know. You don't know what the new thing is that's coming. You don't know what the new thing is that God is going. What is God saying? That's why you got to shut it down some days. Always got to be in social medias. Always have to be in some place of preaching, teaching. Always got to have a mouth open. God says in this season, do you have an ear? Ooh. Do you have an ear to hear what the Spirit is saying unto the churches? Do you have an ear, beloved ecclesia? He calls us belovedly ecclesia. Do you have time to formulate the legislation before you try to sell it in the political realm, before you try to sell it on the platform of the preachment? Do you have the time to develop the legislation that you're to govern? Do you have the time with me to hear my thoughts so I can bear my soul, so I can tell you what's on my mind? God is saying the only way to produce audacious faith is to speak with an audacious God, with somebody who knows what he knows because he knows the end from the beginning. So I just want to encourage you today that this bold fearlessness can't come from regularity. It can come from familiarity. It cannot come from just doing the casual and the normal. If we are going to see great things happen on the 7 mountains, you and I, beloved, whether we're doing Facebook Live or whether we're doing Periscope or whether we're doing private and personal ministry, whether we're doing deliverance, whatever we're doing in the prophetic and the apostolic, we've got to have audacity. We've got to have the audacity to show up. And it says here further that it means that you have such boldness, such confidence, that you have disregard for personal safety, for conventional thought, or for other restrictions. Oh, Lord, that means, wait a minute, you about ready to break some rules? Is any rules breakers in here? Any rule breakers? Come on, hashtag rule breakers, hashtag unconventional thinkers. Are you able to have so much of God's presence, so much of the fire of God on our life and ministry? We've been with him. We've been at his feet. We've been on his chest. We have put our head to his ear and our head on his heart, and we know what time it is. And when you know what time it is, you don't get scared. You don't get scared of what nobody say. You don't care about the opinions of what other people are trying to download to say, oh, be careful, be careful. I don't know if you better, wait, stop. Okay, well, no. See, all of that, not when you've been in the presence of God. Not when you heard Papa say, now, I want this. Have God ever told you something he wants and said, I want it now. I want this to happen in the schools now. I want my babies to be safe now. I want my leaders to have this revelation now. And see, he can't get it to them until he get it to you. Come on. You're the one that have to be the carriers of the will of God. Oh, my dear. No monta ribishta marikotari mendeste vidopa. Rikatabriando stivilirianda. God says, I can't do it without you. The only can't that God has is when you can't be who you're supposed to be. When you refuse to let the conduits of his grace and the conduits of his favor to flow through you, and the conduits of his intelligence to flow through your regular mind. And yet with this regular mind, God's mind comes upon you. That's what time it is. Come on, what time is it? Time to hear and time to move. Time to understand and time to execute. Time to receive and then time to what? Push out and impart. That's what time it is. Is that a new time? Has it always been? Not like it's been now. Not like it's been now. Because here is what I heard God say, that there is a boldness, fearing, daring army of people that not scared no more. They have been in the back. They have been underneath. They have been pushed to the side. They have no name. They have no titling per se. They have no persuasion of man. They have just been with God. They have been Davidic. They have been out back. They have been under the clouds. They have been under the stars at night. While other people were doing all of their things, these people, these Davidic companies of folks have been hearing God say, I'm ready to take the city. I'm ready to take the region. I'm ready to take the nation. So what we have to do is have audacity to believe that God can take America. Can God take America again? Can God take politics? Can God take the capital? I'm not talking about somebody who's a Christian, one man, one woman. I'm not talking about the presidency. I'm talking about thoughts. I'm talking about memes. I'm talking about the way we perceive what's right righteous and unrighteous. I'm talking about, can we invade 7 mountains? Can we change not just the periscope? Can we change the landscape of time and space and bring God's unction? Oh, remember that old word? The old folks used to say, there is an unction. God is saying, I need an unction to come through you, and you're not feeling me. Can God say, you're not feeling me right here? You're not feeling me. You're feeling the movement of time. You're feeling this. But can you feel me? Because I have something I want to say. I have something I want to do. I'm not trying to everybody say, yeah. Hashtag rule breaker, number 1, and then I'm out of here. I'm going to do these 3 and I'm done. Rule breaker, hashtag rule breaker. That's the time we're in. You have to break the rules and not be afraid to spend some time behind bars. Oh, Lord. You have to break the rules and be okay with having bars in front of you for a season. You have to break the rules so that you can invade culture. You got to break the rules so that you can change religious structure. You got to break the rules so that school systems don't act the way they've been acting and deal with our children the way we have to break the rules. So the first thing, if you're going to be a 7 mountaineer, if you're going to be able to move into mountains and scale mountains, is number 1, rule breaker. Number 2, unconventional thinker. Your thoughts cannot be the way they've been for the last 7 years, the last 7 weeks, even the last 7 hours. You got to think differently in a new day. God, did I just say that? 7 hours ago, you thought a certain way. There should be new uploads. There should be new thoughts. There should be new penetrating precision in your mind that says, oh, I thought this. Now I'm calibrating, recalculating so that I can think differently. Think 7 hours, every 7 hours, you have to be upgrading your thoughts. Unconventional thinking is the second point. Are we thinking unconventionally, or do we follow crowds? The Bible says broad is the way that leads to destruction. It's crowds following. Are you a crowd follower? Are you a crowd pleaser? Are you wanting the applause of men? Do you want them to know your name? Is it important for your name to be in lights? So we can't think like the world if we're going to invade systems, if we're going to invade 7 mountains, if we're going to take authority, if we're going to move with audacious faith, if we're going to be bold. This is only for the bold and the fearless. This is only for those who have their stuff together. I ain't talking about big all the time. I'm talking about in your everyday thoughts. I'm talking about in your everyday thoughts. Are you taking control of your own thoughts? Because you can't take control of Washington, D.C. if you can't control your own. See, the thing that takes a city, the garrisons a city, there is a wall, ability to keep things out. Ooh, can you keep things out of your city? Can you keep a thought out of your city? Can you take control over what's going in your thought processes? Because that's what God is making in this season. He's making those with audacious faith to believe. The only way we believe is because we think unconventionally. So first, we rule break. We break rules. We break convention. We break familiarity. We break that which is comfortable. We break the comfortability of life so that we can be audacious for God. And so that does not happen again outwardly. That happens internally. That's the internal system. Come on, say inside. Inside. Come on, God, move inside. If you're going to move outside, external, you got to come internal first. You got to upload all the new thoughts. The third thing that it says here is you have to be able to resist and come against restrictions. What are the restrictions around what your mind is saying you can't do? You too female? You're a woman. You can't minister. That's a restriction. God says, I need you to have audacious faith to stand up. Come on, woman. Come on, woman. Come on. Can you not open the word of God and share with God when you're created in his image? That's a restriction on women. It's something to restrict us. But God says to the woman, have audacious faith to believe that I hear God like you hear God. I hear him in my private moments, and revelation flows and illumination comes and insight happens and witty inventions are developed. And I develop these awesome thoughts, awesome abilities, awesome execution plans, because I've spent time with God. Can women do that? Absolutely. Can children have a voice in this present problematic system and society? Or do we tell them like the old folks, sit down and shut up? Come on, we're talking about breaking rules. We're talking about unconventional thinking. We're talking about resisting restrictions. That's what we're talking about today. So if you're going to be a mountain mover, let me calm down, I'm almost done. If you're going to be a mountain shaker, a mountain mover, if you're going to scale those mountains, if you're going to invade culture, first of all, you got to get this right? You got to deal with the issues of your own soul and your own thought processes and your own paradigms. When you begin to do that, God is going to open your sphere of influence. Hear me what I say. People are going to know you in your sphere as being someone trustworthy, as being someone who has insight. Why? Because you've garrisoned your own mind, because you've put a wall there and said, no foreigners come into my thoughts. And when we begin to develop those internal disciplines, those internal abilities, then God says, oh, I can trust you. Come on, he can trust you with some new things. And so how does God build, formalize an army? How does he build lieutenants and sergeants and generals? How does he develop that? He develops those internally first. That's why he had David on the backside of the mountain. He had David outside so he could learn to hear the voice of God. That's what the audacity was built on. The audacity to stand against Goliath. The audacity to move past the abilities of war material and war instruments to believe that God could use a stone. Oh, that come out of audacity, baby. That come out of being from out back with God. You can't develop that kind of audacity to hurl a stone at a giant who has taken all of Israel down unless you've heard God. And when you heard God, you understand I got 5 things right in my arsenal. I got 5 things that can take down this system, but you won't know that unless you've been out back. Come on, say out back, hashtag out, tap, 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 tap. Love, 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 love. Come on here. We cannot develop the audacity without the tenacity. The tenacity comes when we hear God and we implement it without sight. We implement it without, wait a minute. I ain't heard nobody say amen. I ain't heard nobody say that's good. I ain't heard nobody say you're approved. I ain't hear nobody say, I just heard God. And then I show up and I execute the stone of my faith based on my conversation with the Most High. And when we do that, beloved, we will take down the Goliaths in our life, the Goliaths in our ministry, the Goliaths in our business, the Goliaths in our family, and the Goliaths in our soul. Come on here. And that is what's going to produce the bold and the fearless for this next move of God. Oh, this is a season. But come on, it's not about what you're doing outwardly. It begins inside and then it moves outside. Is this helping you guys? Oh, she said, you have me screaming. I hope so, because it's time to break. And something has to break. And sometimes it's the scream. Sometimes you got to scream and tell yourself, no, that is not how we rolling today. That is not the season we're in. When you show up and everything is butterflying and everything is sweating and everything is scurry and everything, you got to say, this is not that time. I've been with God. I've heard his voice. I know what he's saying. I know what's for here. I know what's for now. And I am not getting scared based on my emotions. Emotions sleep now because I'm in another zone. Emotions put to bed now because I've heard God. Emotions be quiet while I deliver the goods God have given me to deliver. And so we've got to understand what time it is. And when we do, we will move forward. Well, let me pray for you. We are back on Periscope. We're doing Tuesdays and Thursdays and pop-ups and weekends and whenever God say, but hear me what I say. Every now and again, I ain't doing this, right? I'm not going to be telling you something that I ain't heard God say. I'm not going to be in your face trying to tell you something unless God is downloading it. Every good leader, every good mover and shaker needs time in solitude in the pavilion of God. Do not forsake the pavilion. Do not forsake solitude. Do not resist the time when he says, come here, come away. Come away, my beloved. All right? Because that's what we have to do. If we're ever going to hear what to do, we've got to spend some time out back before we move forward. All right. Well, blessings to you. I'm going to release to you audacity for this week. May you have audacious faith. May you move with boldness and fearlessness. May you be a rule breaker against the systems that say you cannot do it and it cannot be done. May you be the kind of people that have unconventional thoughts. May you build a wall around every foreigner that wants to invade your faith and invade the city of God in your own thoughts. May you be those that resist restriction and say there are no restrictions for those who God said go to. When he says go, it's time to go, and we will not see red. We will not see stop. We will not see block. We will move past it even if we have to break through it. All right. So you are the ones God is depending on us. You are the only thing that's holding anything and everything back in the heavens, is because God said, you are my best shot. You are the one I've invested in. You are the one that has the goods. I put my spirit in you so that I can move through my spirit and with my spirit when I get ready. So don't tell God no. Tell God, I'm yours. Everything I have, everything I don't, everything I see, and everything I can't, I understand that you are still sovereign and that you are the one. All right. You are so welcome. Have a great day, Periscope. Have a wonderful new day. This is my first time on live, so I don't know what's happening. I don't know how we doing, what we doing, but if it's making sense to you, then just give me high five. All right. High five. All right. I bless you all. Have a great and a wonderful day. And we just bless you. We honor you. We just push you out of that place of familiarity, out of that place of comfortability. And we say, walk in your audaciousness and you will see miracles, signs, and wonders. Have a great day. And we will see you real soon. Blessings and bye-bye.